right, ready to dive into something kind of, I don't know, a little bit secretive and mysterious. We're going to go behind the scenes in the music industry.
Okay.
But not the like the fun, glitzy side, more the nitty-gritty of how it all works.
Yeah.
We're going to uncover some stuff that most people probably don't realize about the music business.
Okay.
Our source today is this YouTube video.
All right.
It's called The Dark Side of Making Music. It's from this channel called TheCosmicAcademy.
Cool.
Their whole thing is like they're trying to show people what it really takes to succeed in music.
Okay.
And they don't sugarcoat anything. They break down what they call like these 3 major problems that everyone in the industry faces.
Oh, wow. What are the problems?
They call them ego, using, and forgetting.
That sounds kind of ominous.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, like, where do we start with all of this?
Well, the video, it starts off talking about the initial excitement of the music scene.
Yeah, like when you're just starting out, right?
All right. Totally, yeah. You got all these dreams and aspirations.
Like everyone's in it together, all chasing the same dream.
You feel like part of a community.
Uh-huh.
But then, as you start climbing the ladder, things begin to change.
Like how so?
Well, the first problem that the video points out is ego.
Ego. Okay, yeah, you kind of expect some big personalities in music.
Right, you think, oh, divas and rock stars, whatever.
Yeah.
But this video, it's talking about something much deeper than that.
Deeper.
Like systematic.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's built into the structure of how the music industry works.
Interesting.
So the video talks about this like hierarchy,
Okay.
a pecking order,
Right.
where the people at the top,
Yeah,
they often treat everyone below them really poorly.
they do.
Like they think their success gives them the right to be jerks. The video even gives this crazy example about this student who wrote like this hit song. But then when it came time to actually perform it live,
Yeah.
a more established artist basically just like stole it.
Oh, no.
And this student, they got totally shut out of the whole thing.
Wow, that's awful.
So it's a perfect example of how like the power dynamics in the industry could just crush people.
Yeah, totally.
It stifles creativity. Like people aren't focused on working together.
Right.
They're just trying to like claw their way to the top.
So, I mean, is everyone in the industry like that?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
The video actually highlights
Yeah.
David Guetta as kind of like a counterexample.
Oh, okay.
So he's obviously like super
It's
successful.
huge, yeah.
But apparently he and his whole team are just like really down to earth,
Oh, that's the cock.
respectful,
Nice.
even to people who are, you know, just starting out in the industry.
That's refreshing to hear, actually.
Yeah, so it shows it's not like a universal rule,
Right.
but it still makes you wonder, right?
What's
Why are some people so quick to like let their ego just inflate?
Yeah.
Especially when they haven't even, you know, like made it big yet.
Especially then.
It's almost like they think being a jerk is part of the job description.
It's weird.
It makes you think, are some people just drawn to music for the wrong reasons? Maybe they're more in love with the idea of being a musician than the actual work of making music.
And that actually brings us to the second problem that the video talks about.
Oh, right, using.
Mhm.
So that sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
What do they mean by that?
Basically, it's about artists being taken advantage of.
Oh.
Like used as commodities.
Okay.
The video talks about how labels,
Yeah.
venues, even like big festivals, they'll sometimes treat artists like they're just products.
Products.
Yeah, like they're just looking to make a quick buck. They don't really care about the artist as a person.
So wait, you're telling me even when artists like make it big,
Yeah.
they're still vulnerable to being exploited?
It happens all the time.
How does that even work?
Well, the video argues that a lot of the relationships in the music industry,
Yeah.
they're purely transactional.
What do you mean?
Like, it's all about, what can you do for me? There's
Yeah.
no real, genuine connection.
So that's kind of sad.
It can be.
Do they give like any examples of this in the video?
Yeah, they talk about
Yeah.
Avicii,
Oh, right.
the DJ who,
Tragically passed away.
yeah, a few years ago.
So sad.
He was incredibly successful,
Huge.
but he faced this, relentless pressure to tour
Oh, yeah.
and just churn out new music constantly.
Oh, man.
And it really took a toll on his mental health.
Wow. So even when you make it,
Right.
the industry can still, like, really mess you up.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, how can artists protect themselves from that?
It's a good question. How do they avoid being used like that?
How do they maintain their, like, artistic integrity through all of that?
And that's something we can explore, because there's one more problem we need to discuss.
Oh, right. Forgetting.
Yeah, and that one might be the most unsettling of all.
Oh, no.
Think about it. The music industry is obsessed with what's new and hot.
Right.
What happens to the artists when they're no longer the flavor of the month?
That's a good question. I mean, that's got to be tough.
Yeah.
To be on top of the world 1 minute and then...
And then poof, gone, forgotten.
Yeah. Is there any way to prepare for that?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about next.
So this idea of forgetting in the music industry, it's like, it's kind of harsh.
Yeah, it can be pretty brutal.
Like you're on top one day and then the next day, poof, you're gone.
It's the nature of the business, I guess.
The video even uses those terms, one-hit wonder and
Yeah, I know.
has been.
It's rough.
It's like they're reducing these artists down to just a label.
It's like they're not even people anymore.
Yeah, and the video creator, he actually talks about this experience he had,
Oh.
where he was booking like artists who weren't, you know, super in demand anymore.
Right.
And his colleagues would be like, why bother?
Oh, wow.
But he still saw their talent,
Right.
your passion.
It's like everyone's so focused on what's hot right now.
Yeah, what's going to make the money right this second?
And what about the artists who, like, actually go through that?
Right, they experience that whole roller coaster.
All those highs, and then suddenly they're forgotten.
That's got to be tough emotionally.
It can be devastating.
So is there like anything they can do to prepare for that?
Well, one thing the video mentions is the importance of having, like, a support system
Okay,
outside of the industry.
people who actually care about you.
Exactly. Not just about the money you can make them.
Right, friends, family, mentors.
It's people who are going to be there no matter what.
That makes sense.
They can help you stay grounded.
When the industry's like trying to chew you up and spit you out.
Exactly. And they can remind you why you started making music in the first place.
And that kind of ties back to like the whole main message of the video.
Mm-hmm.
This idea of having genuine passion for music.
Yeah, if you're doing it for the right reasons,
Right.
the fame and all that stuff, it becomes secondary.
You find that joy in just creating.
Yeah, and that helps you get through all the ups and
And
downs.
it gives you something to hold on to.
It's like an anchor.
No matter what's happening, you still have that.
Exactly, and I think that's something aspiring musicians need to think about.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the hype.
Yeah, the dream of making it big.
But how do you stay connected to the heart of why you make music?
That's the question, isn't it?
And there's probably not one right answer.
No, but I think part of it is surrounding yourself with the right people.
Your tribe.
Yeah, people who get your music, who understand you.
And who will push you.
Yeah, challenge you to grow.
So, to sum up, like what we've learned from this deep dive,
Yeah,
the music industry can be pretty brutal.
no doubt about it.
Ego, exploitation, this fear of being forgotten.
Oh, real challenges.
But there is hope.
Oh, absolutely.
If you have that genuine passion for music,
Yeah,
you build a strong support system
right.
and you stay focused on what truly matters.
You can find fulfillment in your craft.
It might not be easy,
Yeah.
but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, and at the end of the day,
Yeah,
creating and sharing music can be such a powerful experience.
it really can be.
And that's the biggest takeaway for me. Like, awareness is key.
Knowing the downsides so you can be prepared.
Exactly. So you can approach the industry with intention.
So to anyone out there who's dreaming of making music, use it to empower you.
Go into it with your eyes wide open. Keep creating
Keep sharing.
and never stop loving the process.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
You always hear about like how important resilience is.
Right.
If you want to make it in music.
Yeah.
But no one ever really tells you, like, how do you actually build that resilience?
It's easy to just say, don't give up.
Right. Like, thanks. That's helpful.
But when you're facing all this stuff,
The rejection.
yeah,
The exploitation. The feeling of being forgotten.
yeah, it's a whole different ball game.
So what can aspiring musicians actually do
Well, one thing that really stood out to me from the video, this idea of diversifying your income.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Like, don't just rely on music to pay your bills.
Makes sense, because if music is your only source of income,
right,
you're kind of forced to take whatever you can get.
Exactly, and you might end up having to, like, compromise your artistic vision.
Just to survive.
Exactly.
So, like, having a side hustle.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not such a bad idea.
Especially when you're starting out.
It gives you that freedom, like, to say no to stuff.
Exactly.
If it doesn't feel right.
If it doesn't align with your values.
And it takes the pressure off. Like, you don't have to worry about,
paying rent.
Yeah, paying rent, just surviving.
You can focus more on the creative side.
So being strategic about who you work with.
Absolutely.
Is that kind of what you were talking about before?
Yeah, finding people who, like, get you. And being really picky about what opportunities you say yes to.
Don't just jump at the first thing that comes along.
Take your time. Do your research.
Make sure it feels right. It's okay to say no. Protecting yourself, that's the most important thing. Because this whole journey, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right. You got to pace yourself.
Make sustainable choices.
So you can keep making music for years to come.
Otherwise, you'll just burn out.
Yeah, burnout's a huge problem in this industry.
That's like a really powerful message to end on.
Yeah, the music industry, it's tough.
But it's not impossible.
No, you're getting into.
And you take steps to protect yourself. Let anyone dim your light.
That's what it's all about.
So that wraps up our deep dive. We hope this has given you some things to think about. Keep shining.
Until next time.